So hello guys, welcome back to EM and SMC Trader. So this video is simply a recap on the NQ. As here we can see my entries, loss and profits, everything I will be showing you guys on this video, and a simple recap video. Okay, so let's get started. So from here the New York AM session started from here 9:30. So this was my ultimate buy side liquidity. Okay, this was my extreme buy side liquidity. Over here we can see relatively equal highs over here. So I thought that market will be simply react from this new week opening gap and go for this buy side liquidity. So simple, no perfect setup, A plus setup, just simply I took a 1 micro contract trade, and over here here was a 15 minutes fair value gap also. Okay, so over here I simply got stopped out by this candle. So this was a 1 micro contract entry, as this was not a valid setup, that's why I just take a 1 micro contract entry, and this was a small loss over here. Then when I saw market simply break this new week opening gap from 15 minutes chart, I simply changed my bias. Okay, and from the daily chart, I got the TJIF. Okay, TJIF. So market didn't complete the TJIF, so that's why my bias was bearish today. So over here, okay, let's get started from here. There was a 15 minutes bearish gap. Okay, so from here let's get started. So from here, as we can see, this is the last fair value gap. Okay, market simply went here and traded something from here, but didn't trade the first presented fair value gap. So from here market, see, this was like the history repeats. Okay, this entry was on different basis. So over here, as we can see, market simply come here, then went a little bit higher, then again fall. Okay, again fall, and simply traded the last fair value gap, then again a little bit fall, then came here. So let me explain. Over here I simply took a loss, okay, for my tight stop loss. So my stop wait, let me show the entry. This would be my entry. My stop loss should be below this candle. Okay, but I simply put my stop loss over here, and my target profit should be there. So that's why I simply put my stop loss over here, but my stop loss should be below this candle low, as this is a swing low. So over here I get stopped out by this candle. Then as we can see, market simply went here for the last fair value gap. So this was also a small loss. Then when I see market simply traded the last fair value gap, okay, market simply traded the last fair value gap, and this entry was from inversion fair value gap, then last fair value gap, also from the breaker block. Okay, this is the perfect breaker block. So over here, as we can see, high, low, higher high, market break this low, then traded this is the highest up close body close candle, which is my breaker block, as we can see here I marked. So market simply, as here we can see, the body has been closed below the breaker block, and for if I took the breaker block entry, then my stop loss would be bigger. Okay, that's why I simply take my entry from here. If I miss the entry, no problem. Okay, so over here we can see market simply consolidate over here and taken all the buy side liquidity, then trade this last inversion fair value gap, traded the last inversion fair value gap, and my target profit was until this low. Okay, this, so this, sorry, so this was my entry. So over here how I took this entry. So over here we can see there is an inversion fair value gap. Okay, market simply broke this inversion fair value gap by this candle, Then I took my limit order over here, and there was also a last fair value gap. I simply put my stop loss above the last fair value gap. So over here we can see market simply traded this last inversion fair value gap. Okay, let me delete this. So market simply traded the inversion fair value gap by a tick and taken my order, my limit order, and over here we can see by 2 or 3 candles I got almost 38 handle. Okay, so this was my first profit over here. So then over here this, after that I didn't take any sort of entries. Then market, this was the lunch hour, so I didn't trade on the lunch hour, and typically I don't trade on the lunch hour. Then here we can see market simply traded this 15 minutes last fair value gap. This is the 15 minutes last fair value gap over here. So this was my higher time frame PDRA. So this was the 15 minutes last fair value gap. So market simply traded the 15 minutes last fair value gap over here, and over here we can see market simply created the, engineered the buy side liquidity, relatively equal highs. Then after the lunch hour I simply opened my chart. Then over here I can see they are my relatively equal highs. Okay, I got the buy side liquidities over here. So over here I can see market simply taken this sell side liquidities over here. Then when market over here also I can see there is the relatively equal lows over here. Market simply taken all the relatively equal lows. Wait, let me show you guys. So this is my sell side liquidity. Market taken all the sell side liquidities. Okay, then for confirmation I used my 15 minutes chart. Wait, let me go to my 15 minutes chart. So this is the last fair value gap, 15 minutes last fair value gap. So over here I can see market simply taken all the sell side liquidities, and this body, this candle body has been closed below 50% of this last fair value gap, and the very next candle closed above the fair value gap. So I can say this was a like fake breakout. Okay, so after the fake breakout I confirmed. Then when this candle closed above the fair value gap, then I took a entry from here. Okay, I took a entry from here, and I simply like entry from here, and my stop loss was below this candle. So I can see my stop loss was a little bit bigger. Then I simply closed my trade on the break even by this candle. Then when market simply went higher and created these relatively equal highs. Okay, so this is a relatively equal high, means extreme buy side liquidity. Okay, so like this sort of relatively equal highs, market never keep this sort of relatively equal highs. Then over here I can see this is my lowest down close body close candle. So this is my order block. Then market simply traded the order block, and I took my entry from here. Over here we can see this is the price shown buy. So this is the price level here. Over here you can see. So when I took my entry from here, market simply went a little bit higher, and this was my buy side liquidity. I put my first partial over this buy side liquidity, and my target was until this last fair value gap. This is my 1 minute last, like this my 1 minute entry fair value gap, and this is my last fair value gap. Okay, so market didn't trade the last fair value gap, but this was my target profit until this last fair value gap. After that, when I saw market was reacting from here, then I simply closed my trade when market simply came here. Okay, when market came over here, I closed, like I trailed my target profit on the high of this candle. Then market simply went here and hit my target profit, so I got my profit. So this was my entry. My target would be this buy side liquidity. Okay, over here we can see this is my buy side liquidity. So market take though this buy side liquidity, but I didn't hold my trade until this buy side liquidity, cause over here we can see the market like normally I don't trade after 3:45. So New York PM session on the after 3:45 I don't trade, so I know that the market will consolidate over here. Then as my as I take my as I took my trade, then this on my funded like eval there is a rule that I have to close my trade before, like what to say, before the market close. So that's why I simply closed my trade over here. But as you can see, the market simply taken all these buy sell liquidities from here. So this was my entry on the New York PM session. So today, like, valid two entries and both of them were profit. One gave me 34 handle and another has given me almost 38 handle. So this was my entry. Hope you guys learned something from this video. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. So see you guys soon.